Okay, so right about now, it's Thursdays, we like to do a little book chat here and there. And today I have a very interesting book I feel everyone should read at some point in their lives, right? And the title is Singles Phenomenal. That's what I'm looking at right here. And the author is Israel Sunny Oyenigbenyi. My Yoruba game is definitely stepping up. Good morning, sir. How you doing?
Morning. Thank you.
Welcome to Wake Up Nigeria.
Thank you for having me.
So now this book, I wish I met you earlier, right? Because a lot of people underestimate the value of cherishing their singlehood before they actually get married. But before we get right into this, let's do a little background on you. What was it like? I mean, before you got to this point of deciding to write this book, what inspired it?
Okay. Good morning. Thank you for having me. This book started because I think it started from my family. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the first place I learned about marriage was from my mom and my dad, and so dad did not do really well when it comes to that responsibility of the husband, the father. We notice all of that, and so I'm a look-alike like my dad. So if you see my dad, you see me, nobody will tell you that, oh, these guys. Yeah. So, but then I don't want to follow suit. I don't want to do all of that. So I just told them that, I know I resemble you, but now there are some things that I just don't want to follow. So I decided to create another part. And that makes me just get to learn. I know so many people, other people that, okay, I like what they are doing. Their marriage, their family. So I know that I cannot follow suit with my dad. I need to learn other things. So that's where the whole thing started. Okay. Started learning from people. I mean, church was a good resource place. Full gospel helped me. I mean, just interfacing with people that are doing very well. And over time, I think there's this informal education that gets to learn, and so that's what I'm just building on.
And I feel that informal education actually is very, very important, because that's what actually sticks more, because you're more intentional about that particular type of learning.
Very
so you
well.
said you actually had a group back in school where you had like single friends that actually so you had like I don't know, what would I call it now? Like would I call it the brotherhood, but like something similar where you talk about marriage, and you also invited married people to come and talk about their experiences, so you learn from it. So now, what would you say are the major things you learned from that experience?
So we call it singles tutorial. We call it relationship tutorial. Okay. Because on campus, it tends to, if you're preparing for exam tests, people do a lot of tutorial. But then we just said we want to be different, so we call it relationship tutorial. What we learn basically is just to prepare for marriage.
Okay.
Because they don't teach us, when you see all those courses that we are exposed to on campus, nobody is teaching us about marriage. Nobody is teaching about relationship. But everybody are doing relationship.
Everybody's doing
like people are serving breakfast, people are cooking breakfast on campus. But nobody is talking about it. So we just said, we need somebody to just come talk to us about it. And so what they exposed us to, how to learn about marriage, woman differences, how to deal with people, understanding gender differences. Because some people are just in relationship, but they don't know that a guy and a lady, they're different.
Very, very true. Very, very true. And as I said, I wish I had met you earlier, because, I mean, this is a book everyone should definitely read before they get into marriage. So now the first chapter here talks about redefining singleness.
Yeah.
Now, can you explain what that means? Because a lot of people I know, because of me, I know a lot of female people. And I actually advise them, enjoy your singlehood. Don't be too much in a hurry to get married. But then again, there's something you're trying to tell us in this first chapter. And what is that?
Yeah, so understanding singlehood, what I just basically mean is that singlehood is a season, like it's a phase. And the amazing thing is the default state. Like nobody was born married. True. Nobody was born in a relationship. So that means the Creator put us here as a single person. But then we need to ask the question, why? Why are we single? That means for everybody, there are KPI. Like for you, as a single person, there's a KPI for you. There's some things you need to learn. There's some things you need to understand. Okay. But a lot of people did not know, really, because I said knowledge. Knowledge is key. The more we learn, the more we know, we tend to do better.
So what are those things you see people need to know as singles? What would you say those things are?
So now, when it comes to what you need to learn, I think it varies, because of course, we are different.
Yeah.
Our goals, our plans, our purpose, they are different. But generically, people need to learn, like just have knowledge, have an understanding of what marriage is, what relationship is, and also they should have an understanding of what they have to do in life. Because you say if you're going somewhere, for you to take another person, you need to know where you're going. Because if you don't know where you're going, nobody is going to follow you. So you need to have an understanding of who you are. I mean, that's what it talks about: self-discovery, self-realization, what you need to do, the career path. Those are the things you should set to when you're single.
When you're single, okay.
Because these things will affect your life, either you like it or not. It will affect your life. The type of career you do, the type of purpose. People talk about purpose. I think purpose is just a commitment. Like, what's your own? What are you doing really? What do you think to do that life, you give to people, people benefit from you? All of these things is what you sort out when you're single. But much more, the overall thing is you need to understand yourself. Like, you need to know who you are, what tickles you. What are those things you can tolerate? What are those things I believe some people don't know themselves really well. Because when you know yourself really well, that will set the pace of every other thing, every decision you want to make. You know that I can't do this, I can't do that. And some people that they say they force them into marriage, like, they can't force you into marriage. You know who you are. You are the one that will be in the marriage. You are the one that will be in the relationship. So if you don't have an understanding of who you are, a lot of things like a lot of decisions that will go wrong with you.
Very true. I mean, another chapter that actually jumped at me was the third chapter, and it literally says, "Get a purposeful friend," which I think is also important because I mean, a lot of people don't have friends that they can say accountable and all of that. So, in summary, right, what would you say the message for this book is? What message are you trying to put out there?
So I'm trying to let people know that the single phase is an important, like very integral part of our lives. And so we should not be in a hurry to leave that stage. Like, just like I said, there are KPI. And it's based on individual. Yours is different from mine. It's just like somebody that is going to the university to study, say, law. Of course, you know, even if you want to do JAM, there is a total mark you should have already. You can't compare it to somebody that just wants to go to school and say, apology, you want to go and study education. I mean, you can just go now and they will accept you. So our KPIs is different.
It's different.
So you need to know that there are many possibilities, opportunities embedded in the single stage. But people need to just dwell on it and understand, unravel it.
Unravel it. On that note, we literally have to go right now. Sadly, we don't have enough time to literally go into this book. Definitely, I will implore you to actually get this. Very, very important. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
for actually coming here. Very insightful conversation.